Brianna McNeal, 12:51. So she'll be advancing. Remember, she's running in this meet while her case is still before Kaz. So there's a possibility that she could make the team, but not compete at the Olympics because the Kaz decision has not been handed down and she was allowed to compete in this meet under the conditions that, the Kaz decision obviously will impact whether or not she runs in Tokyo. But running 12:51 in your debut, because you had no idea what to expect from her. You didn't know what sort of shape she was in. You didn't know what she thought was going to happen with her appeal, whether or not she was in really good shape. But she opened with a time 12:50. Actually, I'm seeing on here. I wrote down 12:51. Talia Brooks was solid. Anna Cockrell, 12:63. Renea Jones. Dawn Harper Nelson didn't make it out. That was like the one big name who did not advance.
What do you think will happen? Let's assume McNeal makes the team, and she has this whole potential 5-year ban, hanging over her head with a cast decision, which we have no idea when that appeal will end, and all that good stuff, but all that mumbo jumbo lawyer stuff. So, like, if you're finishing fourth in this race, what should USATF do? What should the track community respond to? How should the athletes react? Like, what do you think is going to happen, and how do you think people are going to react to it?
I think the decision is going to come out sometime between when this meet concludes and when the Olympics start. I guess it would be probably closer to when this meet concludes and when the Olympics start, because you'd want to give somebody fair warning to get prepared. But if you finish fourth, I think you think that there's at least a solid chance that you end up running in Tokyo. I do not know. There has not been any real information about this case other than what the charge was. And we know that she had a 1-year suspension for whereabouts failures earlier in her career. And she had a sentence reduced to 1 year, but she had to sit out for an entire year. So this is her second issue with it, which is why the ban is potentially longer. If you're an opponent, it probably feels surreal because you probably trained your whole life for this and you're going to get a moment and you don't know how it's going to go down. And it's going to be really unpredictable. But as far as USATF, I mean, this was the decision that was put in play. They could not, I don't think they could unilaterally say you're not allowed to run. I think they had to follow the code, just as they had to follow the code with Houlihan and not allow Houlihan to run. Yeah.
I mean, we'll end up talking about this tomorrow more, but if she makes it, and it would be in McNeal's best interest to let the process play out as long as possible, to not fast forward. Just like, hey, let me know.
She's not. There's no. It's already in. I think we're just waiting.
It's in, but we don't know how long we know, because it'll be. What if it gets delayed and we don't find out the rule? Like, is Cass Cass is going to go off of their own timeline. So that fourth place person would be like, hey, if you don't give us the answer soon enough, I won't be able to book my plane ticket in time. Like, I think that'll be a situation.
I think where they time these things around championships, and it was something that was in the release that they'd be able to get the decision figured out before the Olympics. And when I hear before the Olympics, I don't think a day before the Olympics. I think weeks before, to give people ample time. I think they'll be able to do it. It's my understanding that the case has been they just need to give the ruling at this point, right? They need to.
I think you're giving Cass a benefit of doubt. They take forever to do everything, man. Like, I don't think they're gonna be
But look at when this case popped up, though. Look at when we first heard about this case. It was a while ago. They've had this one for a fair bit of time, and I don't think
why have they wait till now to figure it out.
Well, I think you can only speed it up to a point. And I think they say, okay, the trials, she can run and we can still maintain some level of integrity around the event, because if we just have to take top 4, it would just be like someone got injured, right? Or some other issue came up and then you put the next person in. So, I mean, this is only an issue now because she looks really good and looks like she's going to make the team. If she went out there and ran 12.9, obviously it would not have been as big of a deal, but now it becomes an even bigger